Hi guys, it's Baby Peach, and we're back again with another episode of Higurashi. We just got back from being at the restaurant with Shion, and we're gonna hop right in. Lazing around and watching television after dinner was part of my daily routine. It might seem like a waste at first glance, but you could say it was an important time when I was able to acquire knowledge of everything from politics to economics to various trivia. After dinner was valuable time well spent, while the brain was at its most supplied with nutrients. You idiot! It's obvious that Tokyo Tower is taller. Today I tested my knowledge of trivia by watching my weekly quiz show. Sitting in front of the television, I was able to get a lot of answers right. But if I were actually on stage, I'd probably fail miserably. Keiichi. Phone call from Sonozaki-san. Okay, Sonozaki? That's Mion. It was a little late for her to be calling. I had a bad feeling about this. I had a hunch it was something to do with club activities. She was probably going to inform me about what we were doing tomorrow. This was Mion we're talking about. She might even go so far as to say we're doing club activities right now, so hurry up and come over. By the way, it was 8 p.m. Hello? No way we're having a club battle right now. Huh? That's not it. I mean, it was Mion, but it was a very un-Mion-like way of talking. Huh? Could it be? Sorry. Could it be you're not Mion, but Shion? That's right. Good evening. I'm sorry for calling so late. For Mion, this would have been an ill-fittingly polite way of talking, but since it was Shion, it was natural. Even though they were both the same person, with the dry smile, I enjoyed that mysterious feeling. No, it's fine. What's up? Kei-chan, do you like sweets, like cakes or desserts? There is no way I hated them. I'm an unabashed glutton. That's great. Actually, there's a new dessert contest this summer. Looks like they have a new dessert menu every season. So they were hiring taste testers for potential desserts. The desserts at Angel Mart have a good reputation. It's pretty difficult to get accepted as a taste tester. I'll get right to the point. Ta-da! You say ta-da, but I can't see over the phone still. Could it be? That's right. I have a taste testing ticket right here. If you don't mind sweets, how about it? When you say how about it, you basically mean, with the ticket, I can eat all the new desserts I want. They say to beware of honey pots, but this is a sweeter than any pot of honey. All you can eat, free desserts, no way. If you're okay with that, I'll register you as a taste tester. When you come to the restaurant tomorrow, just give the person in charge your name. Then everything will work out. When you say everything will work out, you mean all you can eat, for free? Yeah, it's free. There's quite a bit, so I recommend you come hungry. This was such a delectable opportunity, it was almost scary. This was really Shion, right? It wasn't Mion posing as Shion in order to bait me into a trap, was it? What am I saying? They're the same person. Yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking, Kei-chan. You're thinking this is too good to be true, right? I mean, I would never. I heard from my sister, but you're really somebody who can't tell a lie. I'm not averse to somebody like that. Shion laughed with a voice that sounded a lot like how Mion would laugh. It's not like I was intending on it, but it just so happens that my shift ends early tomorrow. If it's not a bother, I thought maybe we could spend a little time together after I'm done. Your shift ends early tomorrow? Yeah. So while you take your time eating dessert, I'll finish up. Well, I don't have plans anyway. I don't mind hanging out with you for a bit. It's not like we have to go anywhere. I was just thinking we could cool off in the evening while we take a walk. There's no reason for me to refuse. Out of courtesy, I might as well take her up on her offer. By the way, Kei-chan, you and I have been meeting up every day, haven't we? Now that you say it, I guess we have. Since you said okay, we have an excuse to meet again tomorrow. Huh? What was Mion saying? Kei-chan, your voice just cracked. What's the matter? It wasn't a video phone, but she could tell I was beet red. Well then, you should definitely come tomorrow. I'll take my leave here. Good night. Good night. Shion finished with what she had called to say into the conversation without any chit-chat. When I returned to the living room after hanging up the phone, the TV was already off and my mom was sleeping in the rocking chair. Not feeling like turning the TV back on, I went back upstairs and returned to my room. I've only been receiving favors from Shion, haven't I? She brought me a bento, saved me when I got involved with those thugs. She was supposed to be a different person, so I could thank Mion at school. Come to think of it, she'd probably just say she'll pass it on to her sister. I have to thank Shion directly. Tomorrow I'll have to repay her somehow. I knew we wouldn't be doing any club activities after school today before Mion even said anything. I'd been invited over by Shion for an all-you-can-eat dessert. I made a point of leaving half my lunch uneaten. My expectations would only be rivaled by my hunger. Keiichi-kun, you seem kinda happy today. Did something good happen, did it? I guess it was obvious. Reina had questioned me with a happy look. That's right. Why don't I invite Reina for desserts as well? No, if I recall correctly, Shion said something about having a ticket. At worst, the restaurant might be admission by ticket only today. If that was the case, then having Reina be turned away at the door would result in the worst feeling ever. Yeah, I got a little lucky. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Reina, you'll definitely be jealous. Whoa. What is it? I'm jealous. This lucky thing, is it cute? Is it? Cute? I wonder what Reina would think of the uniforms at Angel Mart. They'd definitely be a critical hit. Probably. It's probably pretty cute. I'm jelly. What is it? What kind of fortune were you blessed with? Huh? Could it be you participated in the draw at Angel Mart about 2 months ago and won? Hey now, I hadn't even transferred here 2 months ago. Oh, that's right. Then it's not the Angel's Dessert Festa then. Michan, what is the Angel's Dessert Festa exactly? You know there's that family restaurant called Angel Mart right by Okinomiya Station. Every season they hold an event to promote their new dessert menu. That's today. Oh, it's no use going. The restaurant is reserved for people who won the draw. Mion explained once again what Shion explained to me last night. Reina will have to stop by the restaurant sometime. I'll do my best to draw a winning ticket and aim to enter the next all-you-can-eat event. Knock yourself out. By the way, this is just something I heard, but there's a rumor that the tickets are being sold on the black market for a pretty penny. Hearing that story, I felt even more appreciative of the ticket that Shion had procured for me. I just thought I was lucky to be able to eat dessert for free, but it turned out that the ticket was much more valuable. The number of things I had to thank Shion for had increased again. Thanks. I didn't know it was worth so much. I whispered in a voice only Mion could hear. That was how I conveyed my feelings. Mion looked at me for a moment before she tilted her head to the side and smiled confusedly. Huh? What? Did you say something? It would be a problem if you said something to me right now. That smile seemed to be telling me as much. I guess Mion wouldn't be accepting any gratitude while she was Mion. I'll go to the restaurant, Today I'll thank Mion while she's Shion. Well then, this old man will take his leave here. The work today is gonna be a little rough. Later. Mion waved her hand energetically as she left. Hey Keiichi-kun, Michan has been kinda weird lately, like she's elated or something. Huh? What? You think so? Reina was pretty sharp when it came to these types of things. To me, Mion seemed the same as always, but Reina apparently felt something different. You don't know, Keiichi-kun? I totally thought you knew. Reina's skirt fluttered as she spun around with a coy smile. No, what exactly? I was obviously weaseling my way out of the question, but I wasn't lying. Honestly, I didn't know what was going on. Why did Shion, a persona of Mion that she created, appear before me? Something was blatantly up, but Reina paid it no heed. Oh, really? I wonder what it is then. When Michan is in a good mood, so is Reina. Oh. Saying that, she spread her arms wide and spun around happily. I didn't know why, but Reina was in a really good mood. It was so infectious that I had to smile too. Even the chirping of the cicadas seemed joyful. But, you see, Reina abruptly stopped spinning. Her expression had returned to a more somber tone. You see, Michan, lately, she's been in a lot of pain. What do you mean, pain? The pain that Reina was talking about probably wasn't physical. At first, she tried to pretend it wasn't a big deal. But like a wound, it began to fester and grow. Eventually, she was no longer able to bear the pain and woke up in the middle of the night. And then she phoned Reina. Michan was crying. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? What am I talking about, huh? What is Reina talking about? What? Hey, don't play dumb like that. Just now, you said... I don't know. Reina doesn't know anything. How? Reina spun around as she laughed innocently. Eventually, she appeared to get sick, stumbling as she steadied herself with her hand against the wall. How? The room is spinning. That was dumb. That's what you get for getting carried away and spinning like that. Sorry. How? I think I feel sick. I'll lend the ditz a shoulder to lean on. To be stumbling around like a newborn fowl at this age is actually quite a feat. Reina, in a good mood, only babbled incoherently after that. I laughed as I responded to and chided her. However, the chance to revisit that heavy topic Reina had brought up before never arrived. As soon as I got home, I tossed aside my school bag and changed in a hurry. The effects of only having a light lunch were starting to show, as my stomach began to let out fickle growls. Alright, let's go, to Angel Mort. It's time to face the land of endless dessert. Preparations for battle are complete. Tally-ho! Angel Mort had a decidedly different feel to it compared to yesterday. Dessert Festa today, admittance by reservation only. Nonetheless, the front of the store was being swarmed by over a dozen young men. Judging by how they were looking upwards in jealousy instead of entering the store, they weren't invitees. Why would you gather here if they knew they couldn't get in? I found out the answer when I passed through the crowd and began to climb the steps to enter the restaurant. Are you a participant? Do you have a ticket? Yeah, well, I was lucky. As soon as I said that, I was immediately mobbed. It was like being in the middle of a football scrum on a crowded train. What is going on? Their reason was this. It wasn't just one ticket per person. One ticket could let up to 4 people inside. So it's like that, huh? Seems like I should have invited Raina and the others. Thanks for the tip, but I'll pretend I didn't hear that. With an uplifting smile, I turned and ignored them. When I did, their arms all reached out at once like the souls of the damned seeking succor. That ticket can admit up to 4 people. Bring us with you. What selfish people. This was the only reason they were crowded in front of the restaurant. Dozens of wretched arms reached out for me like a teeth on a giant rake and grasped at the air. I was already climbing the stairs to the entrance. What a heartless dig. Grab him. This isn't something to joke about. I flew up the rest of the stairs and threw myself inside the restaurant. It was like I had entered a different world. The miserable throng of the damned hurled curses at me and from the other side of the glass door. But inside of this completely soundproofed and air-conditioned restaurant, with the angelic smile of a waitress to welcome me, they were nothing more than a refreshing piece of scenery. I knew that I shouldn't laugh, but I began to let out a sinister cackle. Good afternoon, welcome to Angel Mort. Due to today's dessert festa, the restaurant is reserved for customers who won the draw. Could I ask for your name and ticket? I don't have a ticket, but I should be on the guest list. Maibara? Maibara. There it is. I'm sorry, but may I please have your full name? Keiichi Maibara. My apologies for the inconvenience. You're here by special invitation, right? I'll show you to your seat. Please, this way. The mood inside the room was incredibly heated. The booths were packed to the brim. Men in their prime were stuffing their faces with dainty desserts that didn't suit them at all. It was a rather unnerving spectacle. Soon after I was shown to my seat, Shion arrived. Good afternoon. Welcome to Angel Mort. Hey Shion, thanks so much for today. I really appreciate it. You were a bit late, so I was getting worried. I'm really happy you came though. It may have been because other customers were around that her tone was less casual, but she still capped off that welcome with her usual brilliant smile. As you can see, there's a lot of customers here today. I'm not sure I'll be able to take a break. Please take your time and relax until I'm finished. When I'm done, let's go play somewhere, okay? Whispering just that last part into my ear, Shion winked and returned to the kitchen. Maybe it was because the mood in the restaurant was so heated, but Shion seemed a bit bolder. Even a small change in her mannerisms was enough to set my heart aflutter. Sorry to keep you waiting. While I was overwhelmed by the atmosphere inside, the restaurant orders from the new summer menu were carried out one after another. Every single one was extravagantly huge. I get it. You can eat all of these amazing things for free. No wonder a ticket was worth its weight in gold. On top of that, all of it was plenty delicious. From dishes with a general appeal to insane ones aimed at a specific audience, there was absolutely no gaps in its repertoire. No matter how you look at it, I don't think one person can eat this much. Well, let's just leave it at that for now. It didn't feel relaxing in here at all, probably because the fervor inside the restaurant was clearly abnormal. All the other booth seats were crammed with groups before. The sleazy men were gorging like pigs on cutely decorated desserts, and it wouldn't have been a surprise if they started licking the plates. It was more than little unsettling. It piqued my interest, so I started listening in on their conversations and what things I heard. Pant. Angel Mort, so Moe. Me? I brought my ticket for 70,000 on redacted auctions. I told Zwerk that I's attending a relative's funeral. The uniforms here are the greatest. I wonder if the waitress would wipe it for me if I spilled some water on my pants, right? Meow. Meow meow. I heard they're planning on selling Angel Mort figures. We'll have to pay heed at the next Wander Festival. They sold used Angel Mort uniforms on the fourth floor of Redacted in Akiba, but these cost 280,000 yen. 'Tis an absurd price, and will cost 80,000. When Broba closed down, the going rates for theirs was 12,000. That's the price for used ones. Knockoffs are less than half of that. A knockoff from Redacted is fine with me. I wonder if they'll start selling them. Then I'll put it on my life-size figure I did buy off of Redacted for several 100,000. If I can wake up every day to an angel from Angel, they'll really get my gears going. The words spilling out of their mouths were pretty much all incomprehensible jargon, but they still keenly conveyed that hidden behind them was an invisible aura of abnormality. Sorry to keep you waiting. The next dessert is Tropical Cinnamon Love Affair. Is something the matter? No. It's kind of different inside the restaurant today. Our restaurant is very famous in their circles. Well, we were aiming for that, so it's all well and good. But during festas, there's something of the more hardcore crowd, so it can be a handful. The waitress informed me quietly with a wary smile. The customers seemed rather riled up, almost like a pack of hyenas. Seems a lot of the customers today came from unreasonably far away. Those types of people are fairly prone to losing their self-control, so it's a little scary. If you don't keep your guard up, something bad can happen. What did she mean by keep your guard up? At that moment, a large crash resounded through the room. I turned around startled to see that a waitress had fallen down and spilled the order she was carrying right onto a customer. Wait, isn't that Shion? I'm so sorry. Your food is, Oh, what have you done? The jeans that I bought at a certain specialty shop for a whole 1,800 yen are all sticky with frosting. What the hell is that? For somebody who just met with disaster, he seems awfully happy. How tragic. It seems that little Miss Waitress here will have to wipey it up from the bottom of her heart. The conversation suddenly veered off in an odd direction. Hey, what did he say? Wipey. Did he want Shion to wipe him down? Right over that obviously aberrant tent he had pitched over his crotch. But that is, I... Wipey. The wipey chant quickly spread throughout the room. Totally cornered, Shion went pale. She looked over to a more experienced waitress for help, but she was only met with a head shaking out of pity. Sonozaki-san was tripped. Customers who do that to purposely get their clothes dirty have been on the rise lately. Ah, so you're saying she was tripped? Then what happened just now? Was it an accident? It was on purpose? The regular girls are careful about it, so they definitely won't end up like that. But Sonozaki-san is only a seasonal hire, so she had her guard down. The customers today could easily pick up on that, so she's been targeted since this morning. What's the manager doing? He should just kick those thugs out. We're in the service industry, so there's not much we can do about it. She laughed as she said that in a resigned tone. Shion trembled uncontrollably with a dishcloth in her hand as she turned bright red. The man who had been doused in frosting splayed out on the bench, putting the cream-covered tent over his crotch on full display. Still mentally unprepared, her trembling hand inched forward, goaded on by onlookers. Come. It is the time for the wipey. From the male point of view, it might have been a ridiculous spectacle I could just smile wearily at, but from a woman's point of view, this was obviously pure humiliation. When I was trapped by those thugs and had been paralyzed with fear, Shion fearlessly stood up to them and saved me. Still, as humiliating as it was, Shion was also partly to blame for this, and it wasn't as though her life was at stake, right? Even these guys, they were just going to jeer at her in a bit of a lewd situation. It's not like they were going to eat Shion alive or anything. It'd be alright if I just consoled her afterwards. Even I was scared, but Kei-chan was in trouble, so I had to be brave and do my best. When I, a man, was being assaulted by 3 thugs while paralyzed with fear, Shion saved me without a second thought. What about now? These sleazy, filthy degenerates were trying to pin the blame on Shion. This time our roles were reversed. Hey Keiichi Maibara, if you don't save her now, when will you be able to repay the debt you owe her? You scared, Keiichi Maibara? At that time, Shion, no Mion, didn't even show a hint of hesitation. Then what about now? I'm not hesitating. Then what? If you're not hesitating, then why aren't you helping her? Now resign yourself to your fate. Blah. Shut up, you greasy fat ass. Get out of here before I get angry. I grasped Shion's shoulder firmly and pulled her behind me. Kei-chan? It seems you don't understand. Yonder waitress was the one who met mine pants. This is her punishment. The one who needs punishing is you. Enough with the empty words. If you're a man, talk with your fist. Thud, smash. My body was lifted into the air like nothing. I was thrown right back into my own seat. This guy is strong. No matter how you look at it, athletic and this lardo aren't even in the same area code. Many otaku are unexpectedly well versed in some obscene martial arts. Don't be misunderstanding us. Or don't be misunderestimating us. The man smirked, showing off his gum line. Kei-chan, are you alright? Damn it, how lame must I look right now? You were tripped, weren't you, Shion? They're the ones on the wrong here, so don't let them take advantage of you. That may be, but it was still my fault. Oh, one more time. Let's do it. Snap, thud, crash. Don't you go thinking that this is enough to make me give up. One more time. Whack, snap, thunk. Oh, you're all talk. I'm not done yet. Rise, my will to fight. Not just running, I planted every one of my steps firmly as I closed the distance to the lard ball. Each time I ripped my foot off the floor, I could feel my burning spirit flare up from the point of impact. Everything slowed down like I was walking underwater. As I stepped forward in this vicious flow of time, I calmly measured the gap between us. With our distance and height, reach was my ultimate advantage. There was an ever so tiny distance between us where my only punch would be able to reach. I unleashed my iron fist of righteous anger, but it flew towards his face slowly, like I was punching underwater. Reacting to that with a smirk on his face, the fat so easily slipped inside of my punch. I hadn't realized it until now, but in this mirrored time, I was able to observe his baffling counterattack with almost painful clarity. His arm slowly swung around in a large windmill motion, wrapped around my whiffed punch, and descended in an arc. That arm swung around like the arms of a clock and came into contact with my head, twisting my upper body around. Dragging my head along, he followed through with another rotation. This time he rotated his entire body like a top, followed by another rotation. Combining defense and offense, it was a brilliant counter. That's right, 3 times. I was thrown after 3 rotations, I think. In this vicious reign of time, I was unable to struggle, and I could only wait dumbstruck until the moment I was thrown. The moment that sluggish temporal anomaly abruptly ended. Crash. You lack training, young man. I was loath to admit it, but against somebody trained in martial arts, I couldn't win through force of will alone. After my consciousness faded in a wave of dizziness, when I came to, I was lying down in my own seat. Thankfully you weren't injured. The more experienced waitress from before wiped the sweat from my brow with a towel. While she was doing that, a red-faced and teary-eyed Shion trudged over. Are you okay? Doing that all for my sake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too, I wasn't much help. I've never won a fight before. No, you just trying to help made me happy. I'm not joking. It's just that I was thinking that I was lucky Kei-chan came here today. As she said that, she stuck her tongue out teasingly. She wiped off the cream with the washcloth she was holding in her hands. So Nozaki-san, you can take your break now. You still have 1 or 2 more hours left, don't you? No, it's fine. Even though it's just part-time, it's still a paying job. I want to work properly while I'm on the clock, so really, you don't have to worry about me. She couldn't even put up a brave front. I would never even think for a second that Mion could be so weak. This was Shion. She had been harassed by some unreasonable riffraff. That was reality. Okay guys, and I actually am out of time for this episode here, so I know we're in the middle of a conversation, and I don't like to end it there, but I'm gonna have to end this part here, and we'll pick up the next part and see how Shion liked us trying to defend her. So, see ya. Bye.